My beloved child, stop everything right now and listen to me carefully, because this moment is not random and this message is not ordinary. I am speaking directly to you with urgency, with truth, and with a purpose that cannot wait any longer. Do not scroll away, do not delay this, and do not convince yourself that you will return later, because what I am about to reveal is meant for this exact moment in your life. You are not here by accident. You are here because I have called you. And now you must listen. I have watched you for longer than you realize, and I have seen every moment of confusion, every silent tear, and every time you questioned your path. You believed you were alone, trying to figure everything out. But I was always there, guiding you in ways you could not yet understand. The delays, the redirections, and even the disappointments were not meant to break you, but to prepare you. Now you are standing at a point where everything begins to shift, and I am finally ready to reveal what has been hidden from you. If this video is truly meant just for you, then pause for a moment and look within yourself. Are you walking a path of truth, patience, and faith? Do you try to stay honest in your actions and believe in the higher power that guides you every day? If your answer is yes, then this message is for you. You were chosen because you are able to listen, understand, and create change. Don't overthink it. Just feel that inner voice guiding you in the right direction. Now there's a small step you can take. If this message touched you, you can offer a little support so this inspiration can reach more people. It doesn't have to be much. You can start with just $3 or choose $5 or $10. The link is in the description. Your small contribution can bring light into someone else's life, and it can inspire you as well. Join in and be part of this journey. I am speaking to you now because your spirit is finally ready to hear what your mind once resisted. And this readiness did not come easily, but was shaped through every challenge you have faced, and every moment you thought you would not make it through. You questioned your strength, you doubted your direction, and you wondered if anything was truly changing, yet even in those moments I was building something within you that could not be shaken by circumstances. What you thought was delay was actually development. And what you thought was silence was me working in ways beyond your understanding. You were never stuck, you were being positioned, and every step you took, even the uncertain ones, brought you closer to this exact moment. I did not rush your process because rushing would have broken what I was carefully forming inside you. You needed time to grow, time to release, and time to become aware of who you truly are beyond fear and limitation. And now that time has brought you here, to a place where you can finally see that nothing you experienced was without meaning or purpose. There were moments when you felt disconnected from everything around you, as if you no longer belonged to the life you were living, and that feeling was not meant to confuse you but to awaken you. You began to outgrow environments, conversations, and even people, and it left you questioning why everything felt different all of a sudden. The truth is, you were changing, and with that change came a natural separation from what could no longer align with your growth. You tried to hold on. You tried to make things feel normal again, but deep inside you knew something had shifted permanently. That shift was me moving you forward, even when you were hesitant to let go. I allowed discomfort to enter your life not to harm you, but to make it impossible for you to remain where you were no longer meant to stay. Growth requires movement, and movement often feels like loss before it feels like purpose. But I tell you now, nothing that truly belongs to your future will ever be lost in this process. You have carried burdens that were never meant for you to hold, and you have taken responsibility for things that were never yours to fix, and this has weighed heavily on your heart in ways you did not always express. You tried to be strong for everyone else while silently struggling within yourself. And there were times when you felt exhausted from giving so much without receiving the same in return. I saw that exhaustion, and I understood the depth of what you were feeling even when you could not put it into words. That is why I began to remove certain pressures from your life, even if it did not make sense to you at the time. I needed to teach you that your worth is not measured by how much you carry for others, but by how aligned you are with what I have placed within you. You were not created to live in constant strain, you were created to live with purpose, clarity, and peace. And now, I am guiding you toward that understanding step by step. There is a reason why you started questioning everything, why your old ways of thinking no longer satisfied you, and why you felt a deep desire for something more meaningful and real. That desire was planted within you by me, and it was meant to lead you out of confusion and into clarity. You are not losing yourself, you are discovering yourself. And that process can feel uncomfortable, because it requires you to release what is familiar in order to embrace what is true. I know it has not been easy, and I know there were moments when you wished things could go back to how they were before. But you cannot return to a version of yourself that no longer exists. You have evolved beyond that point, and now you must continue forward even if the path is not fully clear yet. Trust that I am guiding you even when you cannot see the full picture, because what I am preparing for you is far greater than what you are leaving behind. You are entering a season where clarity will replace confusion, where peace will replace anxiety, and where purpose will become stronger than fear. But before you step into that fully, you must be willing to release what has been holding you back. This is why I am calling you to stop everything and truly listen, because this moment is not just about hearing words, it is about receiving direction. You have reached a turning point, and what you choose to do next will shape what comes into your life moving forward. I am not asking you to be perfect, I am asking you to be aware, to be present, and to be open to the changes that are already unfolding around you. You do not need to have all the answers right now, you only need to trust that you are being led exactly where you need to be. And as you begin to understand this more deeply, you will see that this moment truly is your moment. I am revealing to you now what you were not able to see before, not because it was hidden from you without reason, but because your understanding had to grow strong enough to receive it without fear or confusion. There were truths around you that you sensed but could not fully grasp, patterns that repeated in your life that you did not know how to break, and signs that you overlooked because they did not match your expectations. I was guiding you through all of it, even when it felt uncertain, even when it felt uncomfortable, because I needed you to learn the difference between what looks right and what truly is right for you. Not everything that feels familiar is meant to stay, and not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Some things must end so that clarity can begin, and now you are ready to see that clearly without hesitation or doubt. You have been standing at the edge of change for longer than you realize, holding on to what feels safe, while feeling the pull towards something greater that you could not yet define. That tension inside you, that quiet discomfort that never fully went away, was not meant to disturb you but to move you. I placed that feeling within you so that you would not settle in a place that cannot sustain your future. Comfort can sometimes become a barrier, and familiarity can sometimes become a limitation, and I could not allow you to remain where growth had already finished. This is why things began to shift, why certain connections started to weaken, and why your perspective began to change in ways that felt unexpected. You were not losing control, you were gaining awareness, and awareness is the first step toward transformation that cannot be reversed. Now listen carefully, because this is where you must be alert and discerning in ways you were not before, as not everything around you carries the intention you once believed it did. There are influences in your life that have quietly drained your energy, situations that have kept you in cycles of confusion, and voices that have led you away from your true direction. You trusted where you should have questioned, you stayed where you should have moved, and you gave your energy where it was not being honored. This is not said to blame you, but to awaken you, because now you must see clearly what you once overlooked. You cannot continue forward while remaining connected to what weakens your spirit, and you cannot step into clarity while entertaining confusion. What you allow to remain in your life will shape what grows within it. And now it is time to choose with awareness instead of habit. There were moments when you ignored your intuition because you wanted things to work, moments when you silenced your inner knowing because you feared change, and moments when you stayed longer than you should have because letting go felt too difficult. I saw every one of those moments, and I understood the reasons behind them, but now the time for hesitation has passed. You are no longer in a place where you can pretend not to see what is being revealed to you. The truth is becoming clear, and with that clarity comes responsibility. You must decide what you are willing to carry forward, and what you are finally ready to release. This decision will not always feel easy, but it will always be necessary for your growth. What you choose now will determine the direction of what comes next, and you cannot move forward while holding on to what belongs in your past. I am warning you not out of fear, but out of protection, because what lies ahead requires a stronger, clearer, and more aligned version of you than ever before. You cannot enter the next phase of your life with the same mindset that kept you uncertain, the same habits that kept you limited, or the same attachments that kept you stuck. There is a shift happening, and it is not something you can ignore or delay. You may feel it in subtle ways, in the way your thoughts are changing, in the way your priorities are shifting, and in the way you no longer tolerate what once seemed acceptable. This is not random, this is intentional, and it is part of the preparation you have been going through. But preparation requires participation, and now you must actively choose alignment over comfort, truth over illusion, and growth over familiarity. Be mindful of distractions that appear harmless but slowly pull you away from your focus. Because not every distraction comes with a warning sign. Some come in the form of comfort, some come in the form of temporary relief, and some come in the form of what feels easy in the moment, but costly in the long run. You must learn to recognize what feeds your purpose and what weakens your direction. Time is valuable, energy is limited, and your attention shapes your reality more than you realize. Where you place your focus will determine what grows in your life, and now more than ever, you must choose carefully. This is not the time to drift without direction, this is the time to move with intention, awareness, and clarity. You are being guided, but you must also be willing to follow that guidance without constant resistance. There are also people whose role in your life has already been fulfilled, even if the connection still exists, and holding on to them out of habit or fear will only delay what is meant to come next. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your future, and understanding this is part of your growth. You do not need to create conflict or force separation, but you must allow distance where alignment no longer exists. This is not rejection, this is redirection, and it is necessary for your well-being and your purpose. You deserve connections that support your growth, that respect your energy, and that align with the path you are being guided toward. Anything less will only create confusion, and confusion is something you are being called to leave behind. What I am revealing to you now is not meant to overwhelm you, but to prepare you. Because the next part of your journey requires clarity, strength, and trust in a way you have not fully embraced before. You are not the same person you used to be, and that means you cannot continue living the same way you once did. Change is no longer optional, it is necessary, and resisting it will only create more discomfort than accepting it ever will. You are being given an opportunity to step into a higher level of awareness. And with that awareness comes the ability to choose differently, to act differently, and to live differently. This is your moment to rise above confusion, to release what no longer serves you, and to step fully into the direction I have been preparing for you all along. And as you begin to understand this more deeply, you will realize that everything you have gone through was leading you to this exact point, where truth becomes clear, where choices become intentional, and where your path begins to align with what was always meant for you. But this is only the beginning of what is being revealed, and what comes next will show you not only what must change, but also how you will be protected as you move forward. Preparation is necessary, not as a form of loss, but as a form of protection that will preserve what I am building within you. You may feel this shift as a quiet distancing, as a change in how you relate to certain people, places, and habits that once felt natural to you. This is not confusion, this is clarity taking form, and clarity often creates distance between what aligns and what no longer does. I am removing you from environments that limit your growth, from connections that drain your energy, and from patterns that keep you from stepping fully into your purpose. You may not understand every change immediately, but trust that nothing is being taken from you without a reason that serves your future. There will be moments when this separation feels uncomfortable, when you question why things cannot remain as they were, and when you feel the weight of letting go even if you know it is necessary. I see that struggle within you, and I do not ignore it, because I understand that release is not always easy, especially when you have invested your time, your energy, and your emotions into what you are now being asked to leave behind. But understand this clearly, holding on to what no longer aligns will cost you far more than letting it go ever will. What I am guiding you away from is not meant to harm you. But it is not meant to grow with you either, and your future requires space that your past cannot occupy. You are being protected in ways you cannot fully see yet, through delays that kept you from the wrong opportunities, through closed doors that prevented you from entering situations that would have drained you, and through disconnections that saved you from deeper confusion. You once saw these things as setbacks, but now you will begin to recognize them as safeguards placed intentionally in your path. I do not block your way without purpose, and I do not remove something unless it interferes with what I am preparing for you. Protection does not always feel comfortable, but it is always precise, and it is always aligned with what will ultimately bring you peace and clarity. Pay attention to what no longer feels right within you, because your awareness has increased. And with that awareness comes a stronger sense of discernment that you must not ignore. What you tolerated before will now feel heavy. What you accepted before will now feel questionable. And what you once overlooked will now become clear to you. This is not overthinking, this is growth, and growth sharpens your ability to recognize what supports you and what does not. You must trust this inner guidance, even when it leads you away from what feels familiar. Because familiarity is not always a sign of alignment. Sometimes it is simply a sign of habit, and habits can keep you in places that no longer serve your evolution. I am also strengthening you during this time, building within you a resilience that will allow you to stand firm in your decisions without being easily influenced by the opinions or expectations of others. You have spent too much time seeking approval, adjusting yourself to fit into spaces that did not reflect your true nature, and compromising your own needs to maintain connections that were not equally supportive. That cycle is ending now, because where you are going requires authenticity, not adaptation. You must be able to stand in who you are without shrinking, without apologizing, and without feeling the need to explain your growth to those who do not understand it. This strength will not come all at once, but it will grow steadily as you continue to choose alignment over comfort. There will be people who do not understand your distance, who may question your changes, and who may even try to pull you back into what you have already outgrown. Do not let this confuse you or cause you to doubt your path, because not everyone is meant to understand your transformation. Your journey is not meant to be validated by others, it is meant to be guided by me. You are not responsible for maintaining connections that require you to lose yourself, and you are not obligated to remain where your growth is not respected. Let your actions be guided by clarity, not by guilt, and allow yourself to move forward without carrying the weight of expectations that do not belong to you. As this separation continues, you will begin to feel a sense of peace that replaces the confusion you once carried. A quiet confidence that reassures you even when things are still unfolding. This is how you will know that you are aligned, not because everything around you is perfect, but because within you there is a steadiness that was not there before. That steadiness is my presence guiding you, reminding you that you are not alone in this process, and that every step you take is being supported in ways you may not always recognize immediately. Trust that even in moments of uncertainty, you are being led with precision and care. I am not only separating you from what no longer serves you, I am also preparing you for what is meant to come into your life next, and that preparation requires space, clarity, and a willingness to receive without carrying the weight of what you have released. You cannot fully embrace what is ahead if you are still holding on to what belongs behind you, and this is why this phase is so important. It is not just about letting go, it is about making room for alignment, for opportunities, for connections, and for experiences that match the person you are becoming. What is meant for you will not require you to diminish yourself, and it will not create confusion within you. It will bring clarity, support, and a sense of rightness that you will recognize without forcing it. Continue to trust this process, even when it feels unfamiliar. Because unfamiliar does not mean wrong, it often means new, and new is where your growth is waiting. You are being guided with intention, protected with care, and positioned for something that will make sense in ways you cannot yet fully see. Stay aligned with what you know within. Release what no longer resonates, and allow yourself to move forward without resistance. What is ahead of you will reflect the choices you are making now, and you are being given the strength and clarity to choose wisely. And as you step further into this separation and protection, you will begin to understand that this was never about losing anything, but about gaining everything that truly belongs to you. And what comes next will begin to restore, heal, and fulfill what you have been carrying for far too long. I am now bringing you into a season of healing, not the kind that simply covers what you have felt, but the kind that restores you from within and allows you to become whole in ways you have not experienced before. You have carried wounds that were never fully addressed, emotions that were set aside, and memories that stayed with you longer than you expected, shaping how you saw yourself and the world around you. I saw all of it. Even the parts you tried to hide, even the moments you told yourself you were fine when you were not. And now I am guiding you into a space where you no longer have to carry those burdens in silence. Because healing is not something you have to force, it is something I will help you walk through step by step. There will be moments where you reflect on what you have been through, and instead of pain, you will begin to feel understanding. Instead of confusion, you will begin to feel clarity, and instead of heaviness, you will begin to feel release. This is how you will know that healing is taking place, not because everything is forgotten, but because it no longer controls you the way it once did. You are not meant to stay defined by what hurt you. You are meant to grow beyond it, to learn from it, and to carry forward only the strength and wisdom it has given you. What once felt like a weight will become a lesson, and what once felt like an ending will become part of your foundation for something greater. I am restoring your sense of peace, the kind that does not depend on circumstances, the kind that remains steady even when things around you are still unfolding. You have searched for this peace in different places, in people, in outcomes, and in expectations, but now you will begin to experience it from within. Because that is where it was always meant to come from. When your peace is rooted within you, it cannot be easily shaken, it cannot be taken by others, and it does not disappear when challenges arise. This is the kind of peace I am placing in your life now, and it will guide you, strengthen you, and remind you that you are supported at all times. I am also renewing your confidence, not the kind that depends on approval or validation, but the kind that comes from knowing who you are and trusting the path you are on. You have doubted yourself in the past, questioned your decisions, and hesitated to fully step into your potential. But that hesitation is being replaced with clarity and assurance. You will begin to move differently, to speak differently, and to carry yourself with a quiet strength that reflects the growth you have gone through. This confidence will not be loud or forced, it will be steady and natural, and it will come from a place of alignment rather than comparison. What I am promising you is not a life without challenges, but a life where you are no longer overwhelmed by them, where you are equipped to face them with strength, clarity, and trust. You will encounter new opportunities, new connections, and new experiences that align with the person you have become. And you will recognize them not because they are perfect, but because they will feel right without forcing them. What is meant for you will come with a sense of ease, not because it requires no effort, but because it will not require you to lose yourself in order to maintain it. This is the difference you will begin to notice as you move forward. There are blessings that have been prepared for you, opportunities that are aligned with your growth, and moments that will confirm everything you have been guided through. And these are not distant or uncertain, they are closer than you think. But you must remain open to receiving them, without holding on to doubt, without expecting them to look exactly as you imagined, and without limiting what is possible for you. I am bringing things into your life that match your current level of awareness, your growth, and your readiness. And as you continue to trust this process, you will see how everything begins to come together in ways that once felt impossible. You are not the same person who started this journey. And that is something you must recognize and honor within yourself. You have grown through experiences that challenged you. You have learned through moments that tested you. And you have remained standing even when you felt like giving up. That strength within you is real, and it will continue to guide you as you move forward. Do not return to old patterns out of comfort. Do not question your growth out of fear. And do not minimize how far you have come. What you have become is exactly what was needed for what is ahead. I am with you in every step you take, in every decision you make, and in every moment where you feel uncertain or unsure. You are not walking this path alone. Even when it feels quiet, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because there is always movement taking place beyond what you can see. Trust that you are being guided. Trust that you are being supported. And trust that everything is unfolding in alignment with what is meant for you. Your role is not to control every outcome, but to remain present, aware, and open to what is being placed before you. And now I tell you this with certainty, with assurance, and with truth that you can carry forward without doubt. This is your moment, not just to listen, but to step into everything you have been prepared for. The waiting you once felt has led you here. The confusion you once experienced has cleared your path, and the growth you have gone through has made you ready. Do not hesitate, do not look back, and do not question what is being revealed to you now. Move forward with trust, with clarity, and with the understanding that you are exactly where you are meant to be. What I have begun in your life will continue. What I have revealed to you will deepen. And what I have promised you will unfold in the right time and in the right way. Stay aligned, stay aware, and stay open, because what is ahead of you carries everything you once hoped for, and more than you can currently imagine. This is not the end of your journey, this is the beginning of a new chapter. One that reflects your growth, your strength, and your readiness to receive what has always been meant for you. If this video is truly meant just for you, then pause for a moment and look within yourself. Are you walking a path of truth, patience, and faith? Do you try to stay honest in your actions and believe in the higher power that guides you every day? If your answer is yes, then this message is for you. You were chosen because you are able to listen, understand, and create change. Don't overthink it. Just feel that inner voice guiding you in the right direction. Now, there's a small step you can take. If this message touched you, you can offer a little support so this inspiration can reach more people. It doesn't have to be much. You can start with just $3 or choose $5 or $10. The link is in the description. Your small contribution can bring light into someone else's life, and it can inspire you as well. Join in and be part of this journey.